Reality TV star and producer Jeff Lewis is an impeccable example of somebody who generated over $16 million using his skill set to flip houses. And his hit show, Flipping Out, gave him an opportunity to show his knowledge and passion with viewers all across the United States. Nowadays, the idea of buying a house and selling it for a profit is seen by the general public as a sometimes difficult but extremely profitable way to make a living. But is that really the case? Well, before we dive into it, it's important to fully understand what it means to flip a property. In the simplest form, house flipping is an investment strategy that involves purchasing a house, holding it for a short time frame, that's usually less than a year, and selling it for more than you purchased it for. The difference between the purchase price and the after repair value, or ARV, is yours and can even be used to cover the cost of the next flip. So even though flipping houses is a good way to build your net worth, there are some risks and downsides to it that can ward off people who are interested in giving it a shot. There's only two ways to make a profit in a flip. The first way is buying a property when the market is low and selling it for a positive difference when the market is high. And although this is reliable, it requires me to time the market well, since the real estate market doesn't change as quickly as the stock market. It's hard to bank on short-term appreciation. The second option, which is more likely, is to buy a property, fix it up, and sell it for more than you bought it for. But the fact of the matter is that you can't fix up or repair a property that doesn't already have problems. So a key aspect of flipping properties is buying things that aren't quite right. For example, maybe the house has a super dated kitchen or an old roof, foundation, and or plumbing issues or mold problems, and so on. With that being said, most people understand that going into a deal. That's why it's also necessary to set aside a large enough budget. In total, flippers can expect to spend around 10% of the purchase price to repair a property and sell it. One of the last and most important risks to consider before flipping a house is that they don't always sell as fast as you might have expected. This isn't just time consuming, but it could also leave you behind in a market that doesn't match the price you originally intended to sell it for. But for the experienced investor, you can make around 10 to 20% of the homes after repair value. This is the rule of thumb. So if a property is not sold for 10 to 20% discount of the ARV, you can quickly pass. The money can be used to cover some of the costs of the next flip, but it can also become a stream of income for the investor. On top of the good margins that are possible in flipping real estate, as well as the fact that it can become a stream of income, flipping houses can also help you diversify your investment portfolio. It's always a good idea to diversify your investment, no matter how reliable you think your assets are. So what are the steps involved with getting started in house flipping? It's important to understand that flipping houses is an investment strategy, and any good investment starts with market research. If you look at the market and decide that it's a good time to buy, you then set aside a budget that you'll pull from to pay for things like repairs. Ideally, you find yourself a realtor that handles flips often and have a team of people who can do your repairs. Ultimately, flipping real estate starts with a team of people who are helping you get things done. So the more customized and refined your team is, the easier it will be for you to flip a property. The last thing that's 100% necessary to flip properties is time and patience. Not everything goes according to plan, and you have to plan around that. So we have all the benefits and downfalls, and it looks like overall flipping real estate is a good investment with good profit margin. But is it enough to live off of? Well, yeah, when done correctly, you can make up to 6 figures a year or more, as long as you have a good team, a game plan, time, patience, and upfront money. It's achievable. If you really want to go the extra mile, then you can mitigate risk with other sources of income, meaning you won't be putting all of your eggs in one basket.